Hey, what is up, you guys? This is Rob coming at you from the inside of my car. Why the inside? Because it is super windy outside. It's been pretty stormy the past few days. So in the interest of you guys not just hearing a whole bunch of rain, I am just going to be recording in the car for this one. So first off, I want to talk about the Supra. It is back. Last week it was gone because last week it was getting the paint protection film applied. So I now have paint protection film on the rocker panels, the front fenders, the hood, the bumper, the mirror caps, as well as the black pillars in the front, just because those scratched like heck and I did not feel like dealing with them swirling up on me. It is so nice to wash a car where like basically half of it is protected, because I can literally just wash it down as quick as possible. So I always recommend doing this, both if you want to protect your car and make washing a little bit easier. But let's talk about the future of the Supra. So first off, I did add something new to it since the last time you saw it. This is a mod that I think every Supra needs from the factory, because this is how it should have came from the factory, alright? Not the wind buffeting thing, even though that is also an important fix. I do have a video on that in my previous videos. No, I put on spacers on the wheels. I know, spacers are a little bit whack, but I put some that weren't too crazy. Alright, so I have 13mm in the front, 15mm in the back spacers on the wheels. These are from ECS Tuning. These are quality products. I've always wanted to try an ECS Tuning product. I had always heard great things about them, from other BMW owners. I know, I'm saying other BMW owners, but you know what I mean, you guys, you know what I mean. So I was very happy to have them on. As you can see, they actually make the wheels look pretty good. Everything looks perfectly, I won't say flush, but it looks like how it should have came from the factory. The wheels look a bit more aggressive. They don't have that sunken commuter car look. A lot of the newer sports cars have a fitment closer to this. Like at the new Porsches, like at all the sporty American cars like the 𝗖𝗿 Camaro. They have those nice factory offsets that I think the Supra definitely needed. So that was why I put the spacers on. They weren't actually the most expensive mod. I think I paid like around $200 for all 4 spacers. Being that, this is BMW, the wheel part, you are just using the longer, let's call them the longer screws that comes with the spacers. It's not like, for example, the spacers on like my Mustang or whatever, where, it's the hub centric and you bolt them in, you bolt in the spacers and you bolt the wheels into the spacers. No. But the spacers, put the wheels over it, long bolt, and then you're set to go. You'll probably see, some other videos of people installing it. I didn't really bother putting one, just because there are already a whole bunch of videos out there about it. And that was also why I wanted to get the the paint protection film on the front rocker panels to protect it further from rock chips. I do also have the 𝗖𝗿 rock guards, so that actually should help quite a bit. So now let's talk a bit more about the future. So I have to keep an eye on this motor. Quite a few people are saying that by the time they hit 1,500 miles, the motor is pretty much dry on oil. And when that happens, it means that Toyota has to replace the motor because it's a defect in the motor. It's just drinking oil like no other. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on it. I'm only at 300 miles on it right now. I know I need to drive it more. So hopefully this motor is good. I want to put a nice intake into it. I want to get that nice that air suction sound. I'm looking into exhaust right now also, either a MagnaFlow or an HKS probably. Maybe an AWE if I can get a good deal on one. I want to make this thing scream, so that'll be really cool to be able to do. So I wanted to lower it. And I think I'm still going to. It's going to be a pain. My driveway is very, very, not lower cars friendly. I even tried driveway ramps. They don't work on my driveway, the way it slopes down. And that is pretty unfortunate. So it's going to be scraping like hell. So that's also why we'll be buying, a nice aftermarket lip on the front. Not too nice. I'm not trying to get one of the really expensive ones. Just one that it's probably going to be scraping all over the place. And that way it'll protect the paint on the bottom. I do have slip low under there right now. But you never know. I don't want to end up scraping it so bad I end up ripping off the slip low. Even though I do trust them, but you never can be too careful. So I'd probably put the lip underneath and then the slip low on the lip. So that way I can get out the driveway as much as I want. I'll hear it scrape. It's fine. It's just a slip low doing its job. So let's hope that works out well. So something else that I did with the car was I used something called Bimmercode. So what is Bimmercode? So the BMW computers, you can essentially adjust the settings on them, which is pretty cool. So for example, or well, I should start how to do it. You buy a Bluetooth OBD connector. The link to the one that I bought is below. So essentially you plug it into your OBD port, which is right underneath the driver's side. Super easy. I don't even have to look for it. I was able to feel for it. Plug it in, then you connect your phone to it via Bluetooth, and then you start up the app, and the app will connect to it. That way you can change up a whole bunch of random settings in the Supra. You know, like I said, this is originally a BMW thing, hence the name 𝗵𝗪𝗀𝗀. So for example, here's one thing I did. Active sound design. I finally was able to disable it. What is that? That is the very annoying speaker sound where it will pump in exhaust noise through the speakers when you're in sport mode, which I really hated. So I went ahead and disabled that, you know, ASAP. I also disabled a few other things like the auto start stop, you know, where you're at a red light and it'll turn off the motor until you until you depress on the brake. I hated that. I thought it's the most annoying thing ever. I disabled it on every car I drive, and I was so annoyed I couldn't do it from the factory on this car. But I was pretty happy to be able to do that. So any other mods I'm thinking of doing, you know, like I said, I really want to lower it. I think on these wheels, it'll look pretty cool. I'll probably get new wheels in about 10,000 miles, probably when these tires are a bit more worn down. You know, I really want a nice clean setup. But for now, these wheels are going to be fine. I do like how they look with the black. Even though I have learned just how dirty black wheels get. This is my first car with black wheels. On my other cars, I usually went silver. So it's a learning experience. I'm also going to be doing a speaker modification. So the back subwoofers suck on this car. So I'm going to be, actually I will be making an instruction video on how I do it. Essentially I'm going to be lining the box with foam padding and then making 2 holes in the back. Essentially making a sort of a ported hole layout similar to when you see subwoofer boxes. And that's supposed to help the very, very muddled bass response that this car currently has. Like seriously, this car probably has one of the worst luxury sound systems I've ever heard. You know, I've had Nissans with Bose, that was fine. I have a 300C that actually has a really nice Alpine system from the factory, and it kicks the crap out of this one. This one does have a JBL system. You know, it's essentially also Harman Kardon, and they're essentially the same. One owns the other. I always forget which one owns who. And yeah, the sound system is just very disappointing, especially with the bass. So I'm hoping that will help fix that up. And yeah, you know, those are my main things I'm going to be doing with this car. I do want to tune it eventually. I might just do a JB4 piggyback tune in the meantime, just until the warranty stuff is done. This ECU was built before June 2020, so it is tunable. Very happy about that. Not a lot of A91s, you know, can do that. Oh, and while we're at it, somebody was cool enough that they are basically tracking down all the A91s in refraction blue, like that were made, all 500 of them. Actually, 2 or 3 of them have already been totaled, so 497, 498 of them that are out there. And they're basically, you know, able to determine what number they are, you know, through looking at the VIN numbers and everything. This car might actually be in the top, like, 20 Supras, like, maybe, like, number 10 in terms of Supras that were built, like the A91 edition in refraction blue. I think that's really cool. So, you know, that's actually just a pretty fun little thing to tell you guys about. So yeah, I also am using this as an opportunity to test a new mic. I want to start sort of recording when I go to car meets and stuff. Now, I usually also like to take pictures, so that's why I'm trying to find a new mic that isn't too cumbersome to use with my DSLR, which is what I'm recording on right now, an A7R3, so that I could, you know, take pictures and record video all in one device instead of having to have 2 devices, like a GoPro and the camera, which is what I had done in the past, but it gets a little bit annoying to carry. So I'm hoping this works out. If not, I'll just do the GoPro setup as well. You know, life isn't perfect. So I'll just deal with that. So yeah, please let me know how the sound is on your end. I will be, of course, you know, fine-tuning the audio a little bit in editing, but I don't want to edit too much. But yeah, let me know how it goes. And I do believe that is it. You know, you guys saw my Mustang video I put up last week. Go check it out. I did do a little bit of an about me. What do I do? And the cars I've owned. I thought it was a pretty fun video. You know, I was trying a new format. Doesn't look like the reception was too well, but, you know, guys, go check it out. All right, guys. So, you know, this is Rob signing off. Have a good one.